Hi, third grade. So instead of doing a composition book review of language arts, we're going to review the walkers, which we did a little bit yesterday too. So here they are. And we're going to remember that when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, but the first one speaks its name. And that's really important for the walkers. So we call them the green walkers because green means that they always say those sounds, like as in green always means go. So EE always says E, AI always says A, AY always says A, OA always says O, and OE always says O, and UI always says U, and UE always says U. But EA does not. EA says lots of different things. And so you have to memorize which ones are the E sounding EA words like flea and cream and dream and stream, and which ones make a different sound like in bread. And then also say gray, A. They also say A like great, steak, and break. So that's why those are yellow. And we're going to remember that from our second grade exploration. So to practice our green walker spelling words, they're listed now in the post for today, which is Tuesday. And we're going to practice finding green walkers in something that I wrote that reviewed the story from yesterday. So these are the green walkers, and I chose some of them to put in our review of yesterday's story. So yesterday's story was about Rebecca, and she was the wife of Isaac, but she had to be found first because she didn't just stumble upon Isaac in his hut with his father and after he lost his mother because his mother died. And so Abraham was really looking forward to having a woman be in the house again to bring that beautiful light and to make their bread full of blessings. So I wrote for you a little bit of the story in one page, and that looks like a lot of writing. And for some of you, it's too much. But for others of you, you could do this in one day. You could take a break, do some of it in the morning, and you could finish it in the afternoon. Or you can also have someone print it out for you and try copying a few sentences and then just underline the green walkers. Now you have to read it carefully because some of these might trick you into thinking they're green walkers, but they aren't because they don't say the name of the vowel. So you have to look carefully when you're reading. I will read it to you once, and then you will get to read it to yourself and underline in a green colored pencil all the green walkers you find in the text, either after you've copied it from a printout that I'm sending in this post, or after it's been printed out for you to underline. Either way. Some of you need to practice your writing, and so it would be very good for you to practice a few sentences. And some of you really like to write, and so maybe you'd be willing to write all of this text in your green Hebrew People book. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. When Abraham lost his wife, he found his life bleak without her. It became his desire to find a wife for his son Isaac, so a light-filled Orah might return to the bread she once needed. Abraham's faithful servant went seeking to the land of Haran to find this new wife. When he arrived, he found a maiden carrying water on her head. She was wonderfully light on her feet. Eliezer spoke with the girl and learned her name was Rebekah. Eliezer rejoiced at his discovery, and everyone feasted together because the bride-to-be was found. She rode on a camel with a silver gray coat all the way to the home of Isaac. When Isaac greeted her, she was lifted so her toes first touched Isaac before the ground of the land of Canaan. And those are the sentences that you could copy into your green book. And once you're done copying, you can underline with green colored pencil all the green walkers you can find in that text. And that is your warm-up and your review for Tuesday, April 28th. You may also then draw a picture on page 8 that reflects what you wrote from my text. Or you could write your own text using your own green walkers that related to the story. But that might be too hard. So don't make yourself sick if you try something that difficult. But you could certainly try drawing a picture that related to this little review. Maybe it would be a picture of Rebecca carrying a pitcher of water on her head. But that might be kind of hard too. Maybe it would just be a well, a beautiful well in a field, and she could be walking up to it. Or maybe it would be bread, bread kneaded with a golden light, because that was something that both Sarah and Rebecca brought to the land of Abraham. It was a beautiful aura. You could try and draw a beautiful picture of Rebecca by herself, standing with an aura of golden light around her. Or you could draw a camel, because she rode on a camel with a silver gray coat. And I bet you could find a good picture of a camel in your house somewhere or on the internet if you needed to, and draw a beautiful picture of a camel. Now, another thing that we could do instead of drawing is for you to free render this review. That means you could model a camel instead of drawing it. Now, this camel could be whatever color you had around the house. Maybe it'd have to be white. Maybe it'd have to be black. Well, if you didn't have any gray, that could be okay. And if you didn't have any modeling clay or any Play-Doh, you could make some. Or you could make a bread dough camel and eat it. And that could be your review of Isaac and Rebecca. So, it's your choice today. You may decide to draw or model the story after you practice your writing, either a little bit or a lot. Good luck!